Good evening. I'm Janet Ott, the moderator for tonight's forum, and I'm representing the League of Women Voters of Bellingham and Whatcom County. Founded in 1920, the League is a nonpartisan organization with more than 700 affiliates in all 50 states. Our goals are to encourage informed and active participation in government, increase an understanding of major public policy issues, and influence public policy through education and advocacy. The League never endorses candidates or political parties. Membership is open to all people age 16 and older, and we invite you to join. Tonight's forum is being recorded. Recordings can be viewed through the website for the League of Women Voters, or the City of Bellingham YouTube channel, or BTV10. No portions of this forum may be rebroadcast in part or in full without the written consent of the League of Women Voters of Whatcom County. Questions for this forum have been prepared in advance by the League with input from the public. Attendees may submit a question using the Q&A button at the bottom of your Zoom screen, and we will ask as many questions as time permits. Tonight, we are hosting candidates John Huntley and Michael Shepard, who are running for the office of Port of Bellingham Commissioner, District 1. Port commissioners are elected to 4-year terms, and the office is nonpartisan. The 3-person board oversees all Port of Bellingham operations by providing policy direction and decisions in public meetings. So candidates, here are the rules. Each candidate may make a 2-minute opening statement and a 1-minute closing statement. By alphabetical order, candidate Huntley will be going first for both opening and closing statements. Each candidate will be asked the same questions, and you'll have up to 90 seconds to answer. I will alternate who goes first each time. You also each have an orange challenge card that you may use to challenge your opponent's response one time only. Just raise your card. You'll then have 30 seconds to present your challenge, and your opponent will have 30 seconds to respond. To help track your time, when you begin to speak, the purple timer screen will start counting down. When it hits yellow, you will have 15 seconds remaining. After 15 seconds, the screen will turn red, and that means your time is up on your microphone. And if you don't stop, I will ask you to stop. So we ask you to be respectful of the time limits tonight. So candidates, any questions around the rules?
Nope.
Okay, if the timers are ready, we're going to start. So candidate Huntley, please give your opening statement, please.
All right. Good evening. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you again, Michael. I guess we just see each other on this Zoom stuff. So my name's John Huntley. I've been born and raised here in Bellingham, went to Assumption School, went to Seaholm High School, went to Western and City University. Been an owner of a couple of contracting businesses. The first one was a general contractor. And now I own Mills Electric, which is a 110-year-old business. And I bought that about 13 years ago. Myself and my team took it out of a bankruptcy, and about 20 to 30 people at the time, and we're up to about 200 people now. So we've done the team's done a great job, and we have family wage jobs, and I see the advantage of family wage jobs, and that's one of the reasons that I've wanted to run for Port. It's the economic driver of Whatcom County, and because of that, I would love to be the part of the group that brings more and more of these high-paying jobs to Whatcom County. Bottom line is that I've never really met Michael. We've seen each other on Zoom. Didn't really know who I was running against at the time. I just decided to run simply because I want to give back to Whatcom County. It's given me so much. I've been blessed. I've got two sons, a wife of 43 years, and it was just time for me to try to get back and see what I could do to help out in Whatcom County. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
So, Candidate Shepard, your opening statement, please.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you, John. Thanks for all the good work you do in our community and your leadership in our business community. Appreciate that. And thank you to the League of Women Voters. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and participate in this forum. And I want to just say thank you for the work you do in our community. The League of Women Voters is an integral part of ensuring we have an informed public, opportunities for civil and respectful and productive discourse in our community, that we have people who are informed about the process of voting and the tough issues that are ahead of them when their ballots come in the mail. And this idea about voting has really been on my mind a lot because we can easily take for granted voting in our community. Our ballots just show up. We can rely on them to be carefully and accountably processed. But what we see around the country is that voting rights are not something we can take for granted. And they have actually been under attack, particularly for minority and underrepresented communities. So voting is more important than ever to me, and the work of organizations like this in advocating to make sure we have an informed public and good voting processes is something I appreciate. As you know, I'm Michael Alvarez Shepard, and it's been my privilege to be a commissioner with the Port of Bellingham for these past 4 years. I ran 4 years ago for a very simple reason. I know Whatcom County is a fantastic place to live, but for many, it's become a hard place to afford. And I wanted to work with that level of local government that is most responsible for job creation, economic development, ensuring that our good employers can remain here and that we attract new ones to provide those jobs that our community needs. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So our first question is, if elected, what would you hope to accomplish by the end of your 4-year term? And we'll start with candidate Huntley. Please give your response.
Well, at the end of my 4-year term, I'd like to see the GP site get developed in a faster manner than what it's doing right now. Definitely would like to see something happen down at the port where we do something with the lagoon, or try to bring in larger boats, bring in more people from the water to spend money in the downtown area and the port area. Would love to work with the group from the county and do things out of Cherry Point that we could make this county much more economically sound. So I've got a lot of ambitions to do it, and also at the airport. The airport I use quite often, and because I'm a pilot, I see things that are going on out there that we can do so much better. Definitely like the thought of Southwest coming in here. Would like to see corporate jets come in here and really start that side of the business going. Really think we're underutilizing our airport, and would love to do more there. So that's it.
Okay, thank you. Candidate Shepard, your response, please.
Yeah, so a couple of things that I know will happen within the next 4 years at the Port of Bellingham include some of those topics that I've been working on for the last 4 years as well, to ensure we're ready to deliver on. And one of those that we've been working particularly hard on is broadband. Even before the pandemic put internet connectivity into the spotlight for everyone in our community, the port began working on broadband infrastructure and what it would take to bring broadband connectivity to all of rural Whatcom County, which currently in many places has little to no internet service. That's been especially challenging during this pandemic. And I'm really excited that we're at a point where we're starting to roll out our broadband connectivity to direct homes, starting off Mount Baker Highway, and then working throughout the rest of rural Whatcom County. A couple other priorities are ensuring that we continue to see strong economic development in various sectors of our community through the great work of our economic development team. And they're a really integral part. They work for all of Whatcom County, ensuring that those local businesses that we have here today are able to expand and continue their work, and while at the same time attracting new ones.
Okay, thank you. So question number 2. Compromise often seems to be necessary for any progress to be made on issues. What is the single most important issue facing the port on which you believe compromise is needed? And how and with whom would you pursue this compromise? And we'll start with you, candidate Shepard. Go ahead.
You know, one of the things I really love about working for the port is the Port Commission that we have right now. We are 3 individuals who come from very different types of experience, very different backgrounds, and have very different ideas. And one of the best things about my job is that we find opportunities to compromise all the time and to work together to make sure that the port is doing something for the people of Whatcom County every time that we meet in our commission meetings, and we're doing so in a productive and professional way. And so we compromise because we have different viewpoints about what should happen in our community, and that we'll see that from making choices about environmental sustainability and lowering our carbon footprint, to working on projects that have dual job creation while also creating affordable housing that we much have a great need for, while also investing and putting our resources towards our shipping terminal, where we're increasing the capacity for union wage jobs in our community. So at the port, I think one of those really high points for me is that we have a commission that works well together. We find opportunities to compromise, and we do the work for the people of Whatcom County every time we meet.
Okay, thank you. Candidate Huntley, your response, please.
When I think of compromise and think of what's all going on down in the GP area and what needs to be done, I think of first the county and then the city, and then the permitting and everything that goes on with that. I think that we need to work hand in hand, and we make sure that we're a team. And being a team, it's got to be both the county and the city with us. We definitely need to do something about our permitting. We have to have compromise. We have to have people that will work hand in hand to get to where we want to get to. So I know that's difficult. I know that everybody's looking out for the same thing, but being nonpartisan position and being the port commissioner, with the 3 of us, look, and all we want is economic development. You know, that's the key for any county. And if we could get compromise from both the city and the county, I think we could get things done quicker and in a much easier way. So that's what I'd work towards.
Okay, thank you. Question number 3. How would you recommend the port balance increasing cargo container ship traffic with the protection of marine life in the Salish Sea? Candidate Huntley, your response, please.
Well, I would love to see, I think we can handle about a 400-foot ship in there. We have the capacity. We have the working facility that can do that. And I believe that the port could be a niche kind of import, export kind of harbor area, and that we could use that without much compromise to the marine life and what we have right there. We're a deep enough area right now where we don't have to do any more dredging. So I really think that we're in a good place, that we wouldn't have to compromise any marine life in what we do right now. So I think that if we get that going, if we get that niche import export, doing something up and down the coast, I think that there's not going to be a large impact on any of the Salish Sea. So, yeah, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Your response, please, candidate Shepard.
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's a question that I've been fielding a lot of inquiry about from the community because we've had these large container ships that are queued up waiting to get into other ports on the West Coast in Bellingham Bay. And for folks in the community, those really large ships you're seeing out there are quite a bit bigger than we can ever service at our port. And so those boats that do come into our harbor are much smaller in nature, but still provide an important part of what we do at a port. We have a shipping terminal that has millions of dollars of investment and infrastructure. We have important union wage jobs that work at that facility. And if the cargo and goods that come through our community don't utilize our port and provide jobs here, they're just going to go somewhere else. And so I do think it's important that we use that resource and we do so effectively. And one of the things we can do to make sure we're mitigating our environmental impact is ensure that we have sufficient shore power so we can eliminate the need for those ships to run their generators and burn diesel fuel while they're in our harbors, and that they can run on clean electricity while they're utilizing our port resources.
Okay, thank you. Question number 4. Public use of existing parks and trails has been increasing. What priority should the port give to developing additional parks and trails and keeping them safe? We'll start with you, candidate Shepard. Your response, please.
Yeah, one wonderful thing about our port is the really fantastic walking, biking, and recreating facilities that we have throughout Whatcom County. Whether you go up to our brand new lit board walkway in Blaine Harbor, or if you go to the beautiful Zwanich Park and fly your kite or walk the harbor, or you go to our amazing waterfront pump track and beer garden and other facilities at our container village, we really have exceptional recreation opportunities. And sometimes we just think of recreation as something for fun and enjoyment, and it's certainly that, and that's important. But recreation in our community is also part of economic development. We have a wide number of service providers, from kayak tour operators to kayak manufacturers to bike builders and lots of bike shops and all these other services that go along with that recreation industry. And so recreation is important. We have wonderful facilities. Recreation is also a big part of our economy here, and something that we at the port take seriously and work hard to improve as well.
Okay, thank you. Candidate Huntley, your response, please.
Yeah, it's a kind of a fine line, because one, you're looking at family wage jobs and you're looking to get the economic driver of those family wage jobs and putting them in the port areas. But also you have to balance it out with a park area and things like that. So it's a fine line that really needs to be worked between the port and the people of Whatcom County. Would love to see. I go biking, so I really enjoy the biking trails and all that. would love to see us work on getting that final trail from the end of Cornwall over to Boulevard Park. That'd be kind of neat to do. Not real sure where we are on that. I know that that's been kind of held up, but that'd be amazing, because we do have an amazing place that we live, and we need to have those areas where we can all use. So we need that balance. There's no doubt that we need that balance, and it's something that I would work hard on. Definitely have park area, definitely have biking trails, but also have those high-paying jobs that we certainly need. So it's definitely challenging and would be fun to do. So,
Thank you. Next question. The primary mission of the port is economic development. Beyond job creation, what single factor would you rank highest as you consider planning or approving any port development plan or project? And we'll start with you, candidate Huntley.
Single factor that I would, one more time, real quick, just.
Sure. The primary mission is economic development. Beyond job creation, what single factor would you rank highest as you consider planning or approving any port development plan or project?
Well, I guess I would love to see us utilize the airport a little bit better than what we've been doing. We can do that without much more economic development in that area. I think that it'd be one of the things that I would work on the quickest and hardest. But geez, I'm so focused on this economic development down there that I find it hard not to just focus in doing that. So I'm having a tough time with that question, to be honest with you. It's a tough question, and I don't think that I could get away from the development of the port area and the airport area, and that's my single focus, to tell you the truth, and why I'm running. So I'm going to stick right with that and wanting to have economic development down there. So I'm looking for people that come into this city and give us a good environmental clean company that's going to pay high paying jobs. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Candidate Shepard, your response, please.
Yeah, and I'm going to echo economic development is really the core of what we do at the port. And for me, the next thing that I rank in my decision-making process is stewardship of public resources. We are charged with effective governance, use, and prudent utilization of public resources. And that includes tax money and other tax fees that come through the Port of Bellingham. And we are expected to make sure that the decisions we are making are utilizing those public resources in the most productive, effective, and accountable, transparent process that we can do. So that's front and center when we're making decisions, when I'm making decisions, every time I'm asked to do so. So we've got to be very clear that when we're investing resources in the community, that we're doing so in an effective way, that the public will not only be proud of, but they're going to see benefits from as well.
Okay, thank you. The last question for the evening. Housing is desperately needed in Whatcom County. What type of housing would you support on the waterfront? And would you set aside land for tiny homes or camps for those who lack housing? And we'll start with you, candidate Shepard.
Housing is a huge issue for our community. The port hosts a business and commerce committee once a month, and it's made up of the top employers in Whatcom County. And the very first issue when they formed 3 years ago that they wanted to work on was housing. And it's not just because housing prices are going crazy and it's hard for people who live here, but it's hard to employ people and expand your workforce, expand your businesses if housing is so challenging for those employees. So it's something that we are hearing from all sectors of the community. A couple things we're doing for housing. We're seeing housing built in and around our waterfront in a variety of capacities. We just at our last Port Commission meeting approved a 90-unit affordable residential property that's going to go in partnership with the Whatcom Community Foundation and Mercy Housing at the waterfront. We expect to see higher luxury housing down there on the waterfront as well. We're going to see a variety of housing opportunities. And part of the thing is we just need more housing. At the same time, we're also trying to make good decisions to ensure that everyone in our community, including those who are experiencing homelessness, have an opportunity to have the housing that they need. Thank you.
Candidate Huntley, your response, please.
First of all, tiny homes, no. That's not a place, in my opinion, to have that. Again, we want to have something that's going to benefit the community. Now, I'm not against those, but they should be in the right place in the county. Housing, we all know that we have a problem with housing. Low-income housing, I don't think should be on any place on the GP site, my opinion, simply because I think that should be any kind of housing that we have down there would be high-end housing. Do I think we need low-income housing? Most certainly do. We need to find those places that fit that kind of housing. And we have those places. We have them all over that would work for everybody involved. So I know that it's a problem. We need to have housing to bring in industry. We need to have housing to bring in Southwest Airlines. That it's a huge problem that we need to work on. But we need to work on it with the city, and we need to work on it with the county, and we need to streamline some of this housing to get it going quicker.
Okay, thank you. So now it's time for your 1-minute closing statement. So candidate Huntley, your closing statement, please.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. It's always kind of fun, I'm starting to get used to this. That's kind of strange for me, but looking forward to hopefully being a part of the port and helping out in getting development going. I know the other port commissioners real well. I know Rob, he's a great guy, runs a great port. Love to work with him and give him all the support he needs. He does. We are lucky to have a guy like Rob run our port, and I think that I could help him out. I know contracts. I know what the bottom line looks like. I know how to get jobs done. I work with contractors. I know how to work and get the right contractors in place for this. So again, just want to give it a try and get Whatcom County going.
Thank you.
You bet.
Candidate Shepard, your closing statement, please.
Thanks. Again, it's been a privilege to serve in this role, and I look forward to being able to continue serving for all the people of Whatcom County. The port has an exceptionally diverse mission and reach throughout all of Whatcom County. And whether you go up to Blaine Harbor, if you utilize our properties in and around Fairhaven, Bellingham, and even out in Sumas, the port is doing work for all of Whatcom County to ensure that we have the infrastructure we need to be successful, that we have the right professionals in place to facilitate economic development. And we're doing all of that good work while also making really good decisions to make our community affordable and to do well by our environment. we just dropped our climate carbon impact by 86% over the last 2 years. And we are able to do that same work while also ensuring that we have the jobs in our community that we need. So thank you very, very much for hosting tonight. And it was nice to be able to connect.
Thank you. So on behalf of the League of Women Voters, I want to thank the candidates for being here today and for caring enough about our community to run for public office. So voters can find more information about the candidates online at vote411.org and in your voter pamphlet. Ballots will be mailed October 13th. Your ballot must be postmarked or in a ballot drop box before 8 p.m. on November 2nd. Please remember to sign your ballot envelope, and if mailing by postal service, we recommend doing that very early. Bottom line, please vote. In these local elections, every vote counts. Thank you for attending this evening. Good night.
Thanks.
Good night.